Hey everyone, Real with West, day 4 here coming at you. I want to talk about still continuing on this thing about experiencing comfort. Going a little different. We were sticking with Psalms 23, and I'll probably pick up a little more, closing that out tomorrow. But I really wanted to hit this part about experiencing comfort. There's this constant thing, and if you hang around me long enough and listen to my teaching, you hear me talk about this quite often when I talk about this comfort in knowing we don't have to do anything to try to appease God. Boy, that just really still gets people kind of all fly in the face. You know, what I'm more understanding what Paul was talking about, man, we've been redeemed from the curse of the law. The thing about that was such a curse about the law was this constant thing of thinking God needed all these ceremonial things to appease him, as if God was in need of all this, and he was so egotistic and so, wrath-filled and about to get everybody in that he needed all these different things. And really, as we read through the Bible, we see the veil that was over the Old Testament slowly coming off and coming off and coming off, and then Jesus, God made in flesh, really drawed it back. And then the revelation that Peter had afterwards, all the disciples that John had, and especially Paul, was really the veil coming off, realizing, oh, all these things we thought God needed from us to be pleased with us, to give us blessings, to extend righteousness and the gift of righteousness. Man, all of a sudden the veil came back and the curse of the law came off, of realizing I don't have to do all these things to be right with God. It's just simply believing that I am right with God, that Jesus took care of that for the entire world. And I know that flies in the face of performance and do, but that's where the uncomfortable, when we can't be experiencing the comfort and the ease in front of a relationship with God. Because one thing I think about even reading Psalms 23 to you, encourage you all week, if you don't think that good shepherd is just there, Jesus, unconditionally, with zero reserve, with zero requirement from you. And I know already somebody's screaming, what about sin? What about sin? Sin is irrelevant to the equation because Jesus has dealt with that. Now, there is wise living, but that's a different, separate conversation in Christianity. But that should not be used as a means to leverage people and really, honestly, in some cases, manipulate people or turn into this fear game to conduct our business and relationship between us and God. So today I want you to live in this comfort that God does not need anything from you to appease him. He does not need performance. He does not need you continuously having to do something to make sure he doesn't get you. Live in the comfort of that. Live in the ease, because if you don't even start, that's really home base. Maybe I should have started this with day 1, but if you don't start there realizing that God is not on this vengeful tear against humanity, boy, he came to save humanity, and he got the job done. And it's us awakening out of the darkness and coming into the light of realizing that. And that is such a beautiful moment when all of a sudden, all the stress, I can remember my own Christian walk when I finally started awakening to this. And I'm still awakening to this a lot in my life. And man, let me tell you, it's just like, my Christian life was so tense, so stressful. And then when I finally realized that God didn't need all this from me, I could finally take a break and actually start really living for God for the very first time ever in my life. I would actually start understanding what it is I'm sharing with people a little more. And I'm still growing in that it's not, you better do this or God's going to get you. It's, hey, look at what God's already done. God doesn't need all these different things and remedies and methods and us trying to cure something that Jesus already took care of. Man, you're good with God. You don't ever have to worry about or stress about or live in this work mode of trying to appease God or trying to get right with God. Live in the comfort of that. Walk in the comfort of that. And that is the starting and building block from trusting God in all other areas. Man, when you know God's good with you, you don't question healing, prosperity, peace, wisdom, direction of the Holy Spirit. You don't question all those things. Man, you stand solid. You stand firm. You don't try to start getting off into crazy superstitions and everything else that maybe God's, behind this or trying to teach me something or withholding this, or all these circumstances end up being God. Sorry about some of the background noise if you hear that, but it's God doesn't need any of that. And man, also you can really live in true comfort. So today, live in the comfort of knowing you're good with God and God's good with you. And don't try to do all these things to perform, and just be free to really live for God, which is simply treat humanity well, share the same message with them, and just walk through life with the leadership in your relationship with God, and you'll only experience His best. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. We'll close out tomorrow. Friday, I'm working on some Facebook stuff. Facebook has been having a lot of issues posting videos, so I do apologize. I'll try to get this video up on there. I've been having problems all week, but definitely if it's not up there, check out our YouTube page, Instagram page. That's why we put it on multiple platforms, and hopefully get this thing with Facebook straightened out. Catch you tomorrow, guys.